Hello! Today I am bringing you the Jennifer Lawrence book tag because I saw Raylene at Paddington Prong 07 do it, and I just thought it was a really fun tag because, you know, we all love Jenny. We all love Jenny. And this tag was originally done by Michael Bookline, so there's a link to that in the description. But let's get on with the questions. Question 1. Growing up in Kentucky, choose your favourite book set in a rural area. I struggled with this one because I couldn't think of any book set in a really rural location that wasn't ridiculously high fantasy where the whole thing is kind of rural. I went with The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater because in my head Henrietta is a tiny town and it's just really rural because it's in the middle of nowhere, which I'm pretty sure it is, but this is the most rural I could think of, really. I really love this series, so I really wanted to get a mention in as well. So, yes. Rural book, kind of, ish, maybe. Question 2. Discovery on the Streets of New York. A book series that caught your eye when you were browsing and you ended up loving. I'm going with the Gone series by Michael Grant. Spoke about this in my underrated book series that I picked up first because coloured pages. And then I read the synopsis and I really thought it sounded interesting and I ended up buying the book. And I actually bought the rest of the books at once, I think. I bought Gone and then bought every single other book at once. So yes, and love this series. So good, so interesting. Question 3. Swearing off social media, a book you refuse to read. Well, I can just list a few. 50 Shades of Grey. Any other John Green book that I haven't read, because I read Looking for Alaska and never reading another book by him again. Those are probably the main big two that I wouldn't read. A lot of contemporary I probably won't read, not because I'm blatantly refusing, just because it's not my cup of tea. So yeah, that kind of thing. Question 4. Beginnings of TV into film. A book series that got better as it went on. I'm going with the Keys to the Kingdom series by Garth Nix, starting with Mr. Monday. This series just develops so well and gets so intense. The escalation of intention and stakes is just so good and I love it. This series is amazing. Question 5. A book series that hit a snag. Don't kill me for this one, but I'm going to say The Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. Because I think the storyline of the automatons in this series is not as strong as the storyline for the Mortal Instruments. And I think that's quite important, because the storyline for the Mortal Instruments develops really well. I feel like this one doesn't develop as well. It's only a trilogy, but I just feel like the automatons weren't as interesting. The world, which you know, is not quite the same. It was just something amiss with it for me. I know a lot of people love this series and I do enjoy it, but for me it just wasn't, there was just something off with it. Question 6. J-Law and Chris Martin, because you know that's a thing. This book question is the favourite collaboration of authors. And I've only read one book that has a collaboration of authors, which is The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. And this book is amazing, so I'm quite pleased with this one, being the only one I've read. I think this is an amazing book, and it's going to be an amazing series, I can just tell. If you don't know what it's about a young boy who has been told that magicians are bad, and he needs to fail the Iron Trial. Obviously, he doesn't, and chaos ensues. Question 7. Work with David O. Russell, a dysfunctional character you couldn't help but love. I chose Christopher Boone from The Curious Instant of the Dog in the Nighttime. Christopher Boone is, well, it's never really said exactly what he is, but he is either Asperger's or autistic, and his view on the world is so very different, and I just love it. It's such an endearing character, and it's so refreshing to read from his point of view, and I just love this book so much. Question 8. A villain who thinks what they're doing is right. Crowdin from the Superhuman Clash series. Well, books 1 and 2 so far, I'm only on book 3, but Crowdin is convinced that he should rule the world, and that is basically his idea, and he thinks that he has been put on this earth to rule the world, and he is so convinced, but he's just a lunatic, and he is so evil, really. But yeah, him. Question 9. I can't count. a favourite high-profile series, which obviously for Jennifer Lawrence is The Hunger Games. And I chose Percy Jackson because Percy and this series and Heroes of Olympus, just the whole Percy Jackson universe is my shit and I love it. Question 10. Everything she's ever said, because Jennifer Lawrence is hilarious. So your favourite's a humorous or sarcastic character. Well, snarky character. And I can't really explain this one, but Darren Shan from the Saga of Darren Shan. Because when I reread this series last year, I was laughing so hard. And like, it's not... Like, when I was younger, I don't remember laughing this much, but I laughed so much whilst reading this series. It was completely random, like, I don't know, I won't be able to tell you exactly where I laughed, but I remember laughing a lot. So, Darren is just funny, apparently, in my mind. So, yes, that's the Jennifer Lawrence book tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone, but I will tag Tiny Reads. Jess, you get on this shit. So, yeah, I will see you soon. Goodbye!